I just made some jam, and this is a 5 out of 5. Now, I've used lemon, frozen strawberries. These are from my garden. These were from last year, and I thought, oh, I'm going to use those. And then I've got rhubarb. Now, I've looked at tons of recipes and massive amounts of sugar. And I'm thinking, why so much sugar? So I found that I made my own recipe, and you can do this too, and your jam is going to be 5 out of 5. No matter what recipe you use, I'm going to show you how you can do it on your own and make it the way you like it. So let's get started here. The rhubarb, just chop it up finely. You have to peel it though, because you don't want all that stringy stuff on it. It'll just become too stringy on your toast or whatever you put. So I've done that, and I'm just gonna throw it into a pot. That's what it's got. So this would be, what, 4 cups? Yeah, 4 cups, about there. It doesn't matter if, you know, it's exact or not, if you have 3.5 cups, or if you got even 2 cups. Remember, this is your own recipe. Okay, now I'm gonna throw in the strawberries. I'll just throw in how many ever you think. Let's see. Yeah, it's good enough. Now, as much as you want. Put in a lot, put in less. I'm thinking, I want to keep some frozen strawberries from my garden. Here, that one popped out of the bag, so I'll throw that in. That looks pretty good. Okay, this batch, I just did a batch just with this, but this one, I'm going to put in a couple of blueberries. Why not? Now for the blueberries. Now these are just frozen blueberries, and I'm just going to pop a few in. Yeah, that looks good enough. Put it onto somewhere just below high, just to get the element a bit heated. Then I'm going to bring it down to a medium. So, in the meantime, show you what else I've done. Boiled the lids. So I'm going to keep these in nice hot water. And then for the jars, I used to boil the jars, but I found this works great. Wash them in soapy water and then rinse them out in hot water. Throw them onto a rack and then put your oven on 275 and bake them for 20 minutes. You've got sterilized jars. Way easier than trying to boil water and do the jars. And now I will just pause this for a bit until this starts to simmer a bit. Remember, it's on almost high right now. You don't want it to burn. This is just get the pot warm. And then once the pot is warm, then we'll turn it down. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, the pot is starting to sizzle a bit, but I've turned it down to medium. In the meantime, I'm going to use the lemon, but I'm going to wash the lemon first before I use it. Okay, say I just turned the pot down, but it's starting to break down, so that looks pretty good. Let's go back to the lemon. Okay, with the lemon, I'm going to use a real lemon. I'm not going to use lemon juice or orange juice or whatever they ask for. And I am going to do some rind. And I'm going to do almost the whole lemon. So let's get some real good rind going. You like it really zingy, add more lemon. If you don't really care for the zing in the jam, then use less lemon. But this really adds a really nice taste to it. And it's not like you're tasting lemon juice by no means. This just gives it a little more zing to the jam. Here's the lemon rind. Just gonna stir it around. You see that it's already starting to break down and you got some really nice juices. I've pretty much have taken a lot of the rind off, and that is now in the jam. But I'm also going to put lemon right into the jam. And I'm going to use all of it. So I am going to start squeezing all of this. What I'm going to do is make sure that there's no seeds. Because you don't want to end up sticking your hand into hot jam to try and get the seeds out. Okay. So let's take each of our wedges. We're just going to squeeze all of the lemon as much as you can into it. I'm going to start with 1 cup of sugar, and this is where you're going to have to start tasting it and see what you like. So I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar and just stir it around. Now I know 1 cup of sugar is not going to do it, so 1 cup there. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. And my first batch, this is where I started tasting it, was after 2 cups of sugar. And it tastes pretty good. Now I know some recipes are calling for, or I got one recipe right here. One recipe is calling for 7 cups of sugar and what was it? Just over 3 cups of strawberries, and I'm thinking 7 cups of sugar. When you're talking about just over 3 cups of berries, holy smokes, that's too much. So, because in here we've probably got what? 3, I'd say we probably have about 4, 5, we've got about 5 cups of berries in here, maybe 5.5. Who knows? You know, just add what you want. So I would say I've got probably 5.5 cups of berries. And I've already just added 2 cups of sugar. So I'm going to add a 1/3 cup of sugar. I'm not doing all 7 cups. There's no way. That's way too much sugar. Like I say, I'm not a big sugar fan. So that was 3 cups of sugar. And my last batch, I added 4 cups. Now, when I tasted 3 cups, it tastes really good. It really does. But I'm thinking at this point, you'd probably have to add pectin, because I think the sugar actually starts to make it gel even thicker. So what I'm going to do, that was 3 cups. And I am going to add about 3.5 cups of sugar. There we go. I'm thinking 3.5 cups should be good. Because the last batch I did 4 cups of sugar, and it was really good. Like, it's really good, but let's do 3.5 cups. And this is where you start tasting it and seeing what kind of sugar content do you like. So that's after 3.5 cups of sugar. And do a taste test. Oh. Oh, that's really good. But to me, 3.5 cups of sugar, it's already sweet. Like, I mean, it's sweet already. I just couldn't imagine adding 7 cups of sugar to this. So I'm going to leave it at 3.5 cups of sugar, because to me, this is wonderful. Okay, so I've got it somewhere around there. And I'm just going to let this thing cook for 15-20 minutes. Probably another 10 minutes to go. I'm going to take a little potato masher, and I'm just going to squish all the berries, squish the rhubarb. If you want chunky jam, then don't do this. I want a little smoother jam, so that's why I'm doing this. You see, and each time you just add sugar to it, taste it, see if you like it. Keep letting it cook for a bit longer until I get the thickness that I want with adding no pectin. So I've just put some on a plate. There it is there. And let's do the run test. Now I'm not putting it on no cold plate from the freezer. I'm just letting it do this way. Well, it's not runny. Okay, Now for the real test. Let's taste it. So these jars are still hot from the oven. I'm just going to start pouring the jam into the jars right from the oven.